So we're live.
Hi.
Welcome to Living Out Louder, episode 12, The Special Relationship. I'm your host, Dave Vargas, emanating from the historic New Bedford, Massachusetts. I have with me tonight, all the way over in La Ceiba, Honduras, I have Yajayra Vargas with me. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm really honored. I feel so grateful to be here with your audience, and I'm excited to see what.
Absolutely. I was so eager to have you with me tonight because, you know, for 2020, you know, it's a new year, new decade, and I want to provide people with ideas, new ideas, and new topics that can ensure give them some food for thought to make sure that they can still keep going on in the right direction, on the right path to have a new journey. And I thought nothing better. I was thinking of what to do next, and I said, well, we got to do one together and do one all about the special relationship, you know. And because you are a fellow A Course in Miracle student and teacher, just that alone, and you share so much higher consciousness knowledge with people. So, you know, what brought you into even studying all of that in the first place?
I needed to stop suffering. That was my main goal. First of all, back when I was maybe 24, 25, I was raised in a Christian home, right? And I had a lot of questions. I was not given answers, right? So I needed to go beyond. And that's how I started. But I got married pretty early. And I needed to understand. Why was I suffering? I just needed to get out of that. And that brought me to metaphysics, spirituality, and everything that I'm sharing now. Yeah. And my passion for sharing is because it's helped me a lot. It's I'm living my life, you know, by those principles. Yes. So, you know, if it works for me, it's got to work for others, right? So, Stop suffering was my main goal.
Yes.
Yes.
And what was some of the ways that you were suffering? What really led, like, I can't have this anymore?
I've been very intuitive and very sensitive to energy. So on an emotional aspect, you know, the empath and the narcissistic story, right? That was okay. That's my story. You know, you can sum it up there. So I needed out of that relationship. So when I came up with Abraham, Understanding Relationships, and A Course in Miracles, it just, you know, blew my mind. I am creating all. I am the one, you know, in charge. And that alone changed everything. You know, there's this quote that I just recently saw from A Course in Miracle. It says, complexity is not of God.
Right.
And this last year, I was like, I need to simplify my life.
Yes.
And that thing was, I'm going to take absolute responsibility for everything, every reflection, every circumstance. And that's what I did. And that changed my life. shifted from victim mentality, because I knew all this stuff from years back, but I wasn't really applying it.
Right.
I wasn't really leaving it, right? I was very fearful. And it wasn't until last year, at the beginning of last year, that I got divorced. And all my sense of security, stability was taken off. I had nothing to grab on the physical world, right? From. So I was left with myself, my divinity, and just trust.
Yeah.
And I was forced to just really lead my life by it, because I've been studying for so many years, and it was like, this is the time you need to apply everything you know.
Yeah. Because that's a big thing right now. We see it all around us. I knew it was in my life predominantly. And, I had a very long marriage, and then quickly right after it had a very long relationship. And we see it still around us. Everyone's looking for the one, you know.
I was so obsessed with having a conscious partner, a conscious relationship, that I lost track that I had to be that one first. I was seeking and seeking and seeking, and unconsciously finding fault. No, this one, potentially no. I wasn't embodying it. So that was my first thing. That seeking stopped.
Yes.
I'm not seeking. I'm allowing. If connections happen, I'm learning from them. With when I was married, there was this theme that was like the main in my life with him. It was anger. I had suppressed my anger, so I was kind of like the sweet girl who doesn't get mad. That was me. But because I suppressed it for so long, it was so, here comes my partner to trigger all that unconscious anger that I was storing and all out. So it was perfect. So in that sense, I can't blame. I can't point fingers. I just took responsibility. I need to heal this aspect of myself. And that's what I did. And I went through a myriad of techniques, EFT, Ho'oponopono. I've read thousands of books on healing, emotional,
Yes.
body. So it's paying off now because I'm in a place right now that I'm so happy. I'm so happy, even though the circumstances haven't really changed, but inside me, I was looking for something outside to get me to a feeling place. Now I am at that feeling place. I'm embodying it. I'm being it. So I really don't need anything to change outside. It's going to change eventually because it's going to match right where I'm at. But I don't need it to change. I'm I'm fine, and I say it with so much pride because back then I could have never said I was happy. And now that's the difference. I am really happy. And that's due to applying all the teachings, all these principles that I've been learning for so long,
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's because it does come to a point you are suffering for so long. And you have to say, like, all right, what's going on here? It's not, I remember taking a look at myself, and I says, wait a minute, what's going on here? Like, what with all this misery, all this suffering, what is it that I really love about this? And realizing it was me.
Yes. And you know what? I'm always aware for patterns. Before, I would need like 4 times for something to repeat itself for me to understand, oh, okay, I need to see this, right? Now, 2 times and I see it. Oh, okay, here's a pattern, playing out. And just recently, I met someone. I don't need that much time now for it to trigger me and go inside me and see what's happening. It's happening like this. And I'm amazed by it. I'm outside like it's all normal and stuff, but inside I'm going through my processes. And I had this amazing thing happen after we talked. And I didn't want to tell you before, just not to spoil.
Yes, I was waiting. Yes, absolutely.
I've suffered from codependency, right? Emotionally attachment. And I've been healing all these years, but I felt like there was this 10% maybe that I would just fall back into that pattern. And I was like, okay, I need a solution. Like, I really need a solution, and just talking to spirit. And when I met this somebody, it hit me. I felt it. I felt the energy. I felt me falling into that draining energy. And besides that, I have a guru. I call him my guru. He's from India. He's like an Osho, right? I just had this luck to meet him.
Yes.
And he's been coaching me. And we talked a couple of days ago, and he was like, he basically told me that I was falling back into that pattern. And I said, I know, I saw it. And you know what's the difference from now and then? I saw it like in my mind's eye, like an entity. I don't like to say entity because sometimes people feel like it has power over you.
Right.
Thing has power over you. But this program, it had substance, it had texture, it had color. So when I saw it, like from something that was not part of me, in a sense, right? It felt easier to understand what it wanted. And it was asking for something. So what I did, and I kind of mentioned it in a post that I did recently, I don't throw it all. I'm very general with stuff to let things to for imagination.
Yes.
It was so funny because I went for 3 hours just doing energy work, healing work, using this interaction with him just to give myself what I needed energetically. And it was amazing. I felt I healed that draining part that was when I met someone, right? And I just sat there and what is it that I need? I'd identify, I need this. So I would create this scenario in my mind, right? Like, just like NLP, right? Using your imagination.
Yes.
And I gave myself that frequency, that feeling, and sat with my inner child, right? Needing whatever she needs, and just gave it to me. I remember this Ramtha was asked once, how do you help an alcoholic? And Ramta's answer was, you give him alcohol until he asks for no more. So I felt I was doing that. I was in this needy place and I was giving myself whatever it is that I was needing.
Right.
I came to this place of balance and I was like, whoa.
Yes.
Like you read.
And that's what a lot of people are looking for. That's what we're talking about tonight, the special relationship. If anyone's, watching tonight, whether it's live or, on the replay later, all around the world, they're going to be thinking, oh, it's a special relationship, but it's the special love-hate relationship.
I have found that it's important for you to honor wherever you're at. Like I was seeking conscious relationship, but I was not there. I needed to go through the processes, I needed to go through seeing myself in others and just being with it and accept it. And I did that. And I'm so glad that I wasn't that hard on myself because in the past I've been hard. I've been my worst judge, And I would get that reflection from people on the outside. But just because I was being that hard with me, I would get people that would be hard with myself. So
Well, yes, and that's what I really wanted to talk about, because I think everyone, that's why they're on this um, seek but do not find mission. You know,
exactly.
we're thinking this is the, you know, we're looking for this place, this illusion of love, this place that if I have this with this person, you know, this false idol, this illusion, like this is where I will find love. This is where I'll find my happiness and my joy.
You know what helped me a lot?
Yes.
I did an ayahuasca ceremony in November,
Yeah.
and I just felt what unconditional love was.
Mm.
So that alone taught me everything is within me, right? And I was in this state of bliss and joy like for 2 weeks after I fell back to my old patterns. Because ayahuasca is not going to heal you, but it's going to teach you where you need to do your work, right? So I could access that vibration within me because I experienced it, so I could go back to it.
Right.
So it was easy for me. Oh, I fell back. Okay, this is what I need. This is what I give myself.
Right.
And that was an amazing spiritual experience.
Oh, I can only imagine. I have a good friend. They do some in the States. They do, they come, I think, to like 5 or 6 different spots in the country. And
Oh,
I
nice.
definitely want to.
And I'm living my life from a state of flow and allowance. The ayahuasca came to me. Like I'm still, my it blows my mind to see back how it happened.
Yes.
Because I have 4 kids, right? For me to travel, uh, I don't think so. So for me to go somewhere else to, Costa Rica or Peru or Amazon jungle, it wasn't really on my, list. So ayahuasca came to me. There was this one person who just gave me, he sent it to me. And I'm so grateful for him. Like I cannot, give him thanks enough. He just mailed the ayahuasca to me. Do you know what are the odds of that?
Right. It's bringing everything that we need to, like you said,
Exactly.
it's bringing
Exactly.
everything that it's within us. And it's just bringing it up to the surface, up.
And I've seen that, as I said before, just to accept and honor where you're at, because that puts you in a state of like an empty space to receive. When
Yes.
when I would fall back in attachment, uh, at first I would resist it because I was conscious of it, right? And my mind would fight it. I went nowhere by fighting it. I went a lot longer by accepting, okay, this is how it is.
Right.
What is it that I need to learn? What is it about me that's causing this situation? And whatever shows up, okay, it's my responsibility.
Yes.
And that just, it's a game changer.
Yes, most definitely. Because all the work, the metaphysical work that you did, the greater than what's in front of us, the most magical, incredible part of us is, unseen by the naked eye. And when we have that awareness, we're seeing what's going on. We're not taking the victim. Why are they doing this to us? Or having these attachments. We're no longer looking through the lens of the past. When we have this awareness and practicing unconditional love, where
That was for me a
in the now.
when this quote, Ramana Maharshi's quote, how are we to treat others? There are no others. I took that seriously. And I see myself in everybody. And I can interact as if, just practical terms, but inside me, I understand. And I see you and I love you and I understand you're triggering me because there's something I need to know about myself. And this quote from A Course in Miracles, I just love A Course in Miracles.
I do too, yes.
Every situation properly perceived is an opportunity to heal. Another thing I took seriously. Anything that showed up, okay, I got to do my work. Before I would run away from it because I would fear being with myself and sitting with my feelings and feeling the emotions. I just didn't want to feel it. That was not the way out. It's like a water tornado, is it called? Like a swirl water, I don't know.
Yeah, tornado, absolutely.
Fight it, right? When you're on it, you don't fight it. You can't. You have to let it suck you in and you go out, right? So that's the same thing. When something is showing you, it's showing up.
Yes.
Don't resist it. It's a messenger. It's there for a reason.
Right.
We need to learn to be in silence for it to, give us the message and make the adjustments that we need to do.
Absolutely. I'm forever sending that message out all the time. Nothing is ever happening to us, but for us.
For us and through us.
Yes. I love that. Absolutely. I love that. And because it's realizing, okay, you're giving me signs. We are one. There's no one else in the room. There are no others. So why is this affecting me? Why am I, ready to go a little nutty here? Why am I ready to fly off the handlebars? And it's pinpointing a great spot where you're still unhealed.
Exactly. And just taking that, accepting it, it wasn't easy because I just couldn't. I didn't want to, even though I was reading it and understanding it, I didn't want to accept it. I wanted to blame. I wanted to find fault over there. It felt good for the ego, but you suffer. Like eventually you're going to suffer, right? So really accepting it was hard for me, even though I was conscious and I was understanding it intellectually. Yes. I didn't want to do the work. I wanted to blame. But once you own it, you're transformed. Because if you have the power to create something you don't want, you have the power to change it, right? But but if we are at the mercy of others, then there's no way out, right? But if it's your creation, if it's you, then you have the power to change it. And that's the power that it kind of freaks you out, at least me, to know how powerful we are. And we're still like in the beginnings of it. We're not fully engaged with it. We're just starting.
Oh, yes. It's powerful. I love the Course in Miracles. I, started it quite a few years ago. And because I was on this quest, I study every day. And it was much like you. I was so hurting and suffering. I needed to find out why I was behaving the way I did, why I was making the choices that I did. And a lot of us, we've read, the same books and tapes. And when you're doing a lot of work in the spirituality and metaphysical realm, you start seeing the same stuff, just said slightly different. And I needed something more. I needed something more. And I remember I was teaching a group once, and I had kind of it was almost like a book idea. And because I thought Jesus was one of the most best ascended masters, you know, and he never let his emotions get above his intelligence, you know.
Yeah.
And I always thought there was, I don't remember ever, you know, when he was on Temptation Mountain and he spent the 40 days and 40 nights. And I go, you know, there should be a great detailed, you know, story about that, of not giving in to the ego or giving in, you know. And I was getting done with one book because I only will read one at one time, and then I will start the next one when I'm done. And I was divinely pulled. It was, you have to read this one now. Like it was pulled to me. I was compelled, and wow, you know.
I read a lot of books at the same time. I can't be with one.
Yes.
I have to be with a lot. That's just how my mind works. Jumping, but you know, it's I'm so divinely guided that I just go exactly to what I need.
Yes.
I jump into exactly what I need because I've been following my joy. I've been following my passion, and it's all inclusive. It's all there. Like your job is to take the step that's in front of you. That's your job, right? And
Hmm.
it's complete. It's gonna give you everything that you need. So I'm the kind of person that I just, okay, why do I feel to do now?
Right.
And sometimes my mind wants to, let's do this and this. No, I tune into spirit. And
Hmm.
it's so effortless. It's so beautiful to live like that. I have 4 kids. I have a lot of stuff going on to take.
Yes.
And I don't feel like I have this burden like before. I would complain about everything,
Yeah.
Now it's just wonderful. I'm not kidding. And I don't want to try to make it something that it's not. I've been like very clear. Okay, if I'm in this place in my life, that's what I'm going to show. And this is what I'm learning. And I know people are going to get the most if I'm open, because that's how I learned a lot from people that were just showing their process. I'm going through this and this. I'm navigating life using these tools. So you have like a real lifetime reference, to go about and do your stuff. So I felt like being truthful to myself, to where I'm at, is the best thing I could give back, in a sense, and
Well,
I've been living my life now just by following my joy. And it's absolutely wonderful. It has opened opportunities that I couldn't have ever imagined in the first place.
well, it is. That's how we raise. That's how we raise our awareness through the study, and we know enough not to complain. I remember uh, Bob Marley said something to the effect that complaining is prayers to the devil. You know, and I love that because, to me, metaphysically, the devil is our ego, our shadow self. We're feeding that complexity, like you were saying. Oh, well, I have 4 kids. I get no. My life is playing the victim card. You know.
And it plays so subtle. It's so subtly that you don't even know it's playing that role. I've catch myself feeling like a victim, and I believe that I'm not, that I'm taking ownership of everything, and I'm not. And I'm like, wow. I get surprised sometimes how it's like you can't see the programs. They're like over here. They're operating from behind the scenes,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, they're there. And my job is to be aware of it and see what I can do in order to shift that. And for me, relationships has been the best way. Romantic relationship for me, not for everybody. For others might be, father, daughter, mother, cousin, friends, co-workers. But for me, romantic relationships have been where I've seen the most of myself, and I see it like really fast.
Yes.
It's been my best mirrors, one of my best mirrors. And so I have nothing but to thank, people in my past. There's this great video that I just loved so much by Greg Braden, the Sea Mirrors. Wow, that was a life saving for me.
I love him. What was the name of it?
The seven Scene Mirrors of Relationship. Okay. And it's in the book, The Divine Matrix. He touches 5 of them in that book. And it just, it helps you understand the different dynamics, how the mirror can show up. Because when we think of a mirror, you may think it's a direct mirror. It's not. It's kind of complex. So when you understand the dynamics, how it shows up, it could be the opposite, it could be direct, it could be things that you don't imagine. Then you can, okay, this mirror is playing out. See? And you stop blaming. You just stop because you understand they are showing you something. So from a spiritual perspective, it's coming from love. They're playing a role that you need at that moment.
Right.
So take it, embrace it, go inside, search for answer, ask. It's so simple to ask. Right. Like the other day, I was like, and I posted it. Why? I had this fear, right? Something showed up. This fear just took over my body. And I don't like it. I didn't like it. But I asked, right? Okay, this is where I'm at. I'm feeling it. Why?
What brought it on?
Huh?
What brought the fear on?
A circumstance with my ex-husband that showed up, and I just felt this fear. So I asked, why? And the answer was there, like download it instantaneously, because you're believing in illusions. And wow. I was like, wow, yes, that's true. So I knew where I had to work. I knew what I had to do because I have the tools, I have, the techniques. So I've seen that breathing into the fear, it helps a lot. Like I just sit with it, I breathe into it, I allow it to be, to process it, to transmute it. And I've seen 2 things. You can do it like from your mental level or from an emotional level. When I talk mental, I'm referring to going into your belief system, understanding what is it that you're believing, right? That's causing that. And just by observing what's the belief, you dissolve it. You really drop it. Sometimes I can do that. Sometimes I can't. I just have to sit with the emotion. That's the uncomfortable part of it, but it's so effective. So either way, whatever works for you, you just know yourself to know what works for you. So for others, it could be like, no, that doesn't work, but it doesn't mean it's not good for others, right? So accept, look what works for you and go with that. And the body is wise. The body resonates with things that are for you. So just go with it.
You always know. Yes, you know the truth by the way you feel. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's if allowed to, it can be a place where in a relationship that both offer healing, for as a hospital for the soul, but we've run right when we first get the first
comfortable. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you're not the perfect idol that I thought you were. You're not you're not the magical person I thought that I was looking for.
I made that mistake in my marriage in trying to fix my partner. He needs to be fixed. Right. But that was unconscious, right? That was not, it wasn't the program running. And now how I approach, like when I'm interacting connections, I have no need to change nobody.
Right. Right.
You may believe whatever you want to believe. That won't affect me at all. I'm creating my reality. And you're just going to join and resonate wherever you do. And if not, you just bye-bye. And that's fine. That's fine. So I feel no need to fix nobody. And I'm just grateful that I'm liberated from that. From me.
That is freedom. It really is freedom to just be yourself and freedom to let everyone else.
That was one of the main things too. I stopped being myself in the name of love, sacrificing myself to be the person that I needed others to be. And that cost me a lot, like even physical ailments, right? Emotional, psychosis or emotional breakdowns. There was a point in my life that I had to be on pills for the nervous system. That's how bad I was. And the funny part is that nobody knew. I was going through my stuff, not even my family, not even my friends, nobody knew because I was so afraid to show it. I felt I was going to be criticized or that I'm the one to be blamed on, or I don't know. I just didn't want to show it. And, now I'm just, if you need help, ask for help. However that helps comes, it's coming from, higher power. Allow it. So I'm going now, like whatever I need in terms of my next step, I just ask for it. And if you say no, it's okay. It's all right. Doesn't matter.
But you expressed yourself.
Yes. And I am being myself. And there's so much joy in just being yourself. Because I was repressing myself for so many years that now that I can be myself, it's so wow. I can't even believe that I'm me right now,
I know what you mean. It's the person I was, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I can't. Like it's not even real.
Yes, like that story is like so distant. Who was that?
Like, was I really that? I can't. Was I really that?
Yeah, and they're
But I believe in what you were saying, and I think that that's something that really needs to be said. In big capital letters. I wrote that the other day. That's another theme of mine is, if you're not expressing yourself, you're suppressing yourself. And suppression leads to depression. When we're not speaking to, whether it's a romantic relationship, we should be going deep with our good friends. We're not just deep with, the romantic relationship. And, we can't, we're expecting people to be mind readers, and we just have to, that's intimacy, that space was, that container was built with trust, that it's safe. And I can share with you the truth of who I am as soon as I know it, with kindness and compassion.
Yes. And if you're not in that space, it's going to be shown. For example, I was about vulnerability and I found myself discovering that I was afraid. And I didn't even know it. I was afraid of being vulnerable. And I thought I was doing it, but I was doing it from a place of fear. So it kept showing it to me. And I was like, what's going on? Until I found out, oh, wow, I'm really fearing it. And I'm thinking I'm being vulnerable, but I'm being vulnerable with fear. So that showed up, you see. So I'm so glad that I'm really aware of things. And when I'm not aware, what happens is it keeps repeating something that you don't want. It's there. Why is it there? Oh, there's something you need to see. That's why it keeps showing up. And it's gonna keep coming louder if you don't do something about it. You can wait until the universe slaps you on your face. It's okay. Or you can do something about it right now. It's to us. The choice is ours, really.
Always. It's putting putting a value on connection first and foremost, instead of wanting to be right. It's valuing connection. And if you're not valuing connection, like you said, because we're holding on to an ideal instead of what's love's reality in front of us. And the faces may change, the situations may change, but the same outcome, the lesson is keep slapping on you. We can run, we can find the, 5 kings in 1 year, but it won't matter who it is. It's
You're taking yourself with you. You're taking your baggage. You're taking everything you're carrying with you. So it doesn't matter. Changes face, it doesn't matter. You're taking yourself. And it's a wonderful thing to understand that it's really in your hands to do something about it. If you want to change the dynamics with in relationships, in any type of relationships. Like for me, my kids have been great teachers, and everything I don't like about them, I know I need to go within first. I can just point out and force them. I need to make, because they're shadow, they're just a projection. And I've seen it work. I've seen it when I do the adjustments inside, outside, it adjusts accordingly. It's pure magic, basically. But you really have to go inside. And when you're not seeing it, you're not really nailing it inside. But it's truly the power, it's inside. And with ayahuasca, I was shown how powerful we are, the love that we are God. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. My ayahuasca experience.
Yes, that's an amazing feeling, I'm sure. And to even be there in the present, I'm sure that you got me jealous right now, but I'm making special trips in the future. This is a definite. Did you go to Peru, by the way, for that?
I did it in my place.
Wow.
It came to me. I did it here. I recreated my own little ceremony.
Yep.
And I was so bold because generally you have like a shaman or somebody guiding you.
Right.
I did it alone, but I just felt compelled to do it. And I knew I was going to be fine. That's the thing. And it showed me what I was seeking in relationships, exactly that feeling. They showed me it's within. Mm-hmm. I have to tap within. So it provided me with the tools for me to heal. So when I encounter this reflections and connections, I know where to work. I know how to go within.
Yes. No, that's going into anything like that. It's having the right frame of mind. You're there. Nothing is, lingering in the background. But it's feeling the oneness of it all.
The oneness and understanding that you are the love of your life, first and foremost. I am the love of my life. My alignment, it's number one. I'm not sacrificing my alignment for none. I'm doing a disservice to others when I do that. Actually, we think we're helping, we're not. If you put yourself second, you are not helping. Really, you're not. So if you really want to give, be yourself. Allow yourself to be in alignment to whatever is it that you need, give it to yourself first.
That's number one.
Exactly. And people will match, people will come accordingly. Right. So you really don't have to worry about the exterior, just interior. Outside will correspond always.
That's the reflection. We're the one we're looking for. I'm looking for you. I just found it. but I say that all the time. The one you're seeking, you've already found them. Or this is who you're to be looking for. And
It is. And we're yearning for that love. We are looking it for it desperately. I know I was. And I wanted to be saved. I wanted to be protected. I wanted to be loved, to be held. And when you place all your faith outside, they're gonna fail you, because everybody are having their own experiences and they're learning. Nobody's rock, actually. So if you place your faith outside in your projections, like hello, right? The faith, the trust is within, and that's gonna be reflected outside. That's gonna be reflected in your
right, because when we're looking for this illusion of love, and these are false idols will always fall, and nobody can fit into that diamond encrusted picture frame. Nobody will fit into that. We'll always be let down by something.
And if they fit, they're gonna be unhappy to make you happy, apparently.
Right.
So yeah, it doesn't really work.
Yes.
But it's a process that you really have to go through, because I see a lot of relatives and friends, and I can see the process, and they're here and they cannot see it. I don't know how to. Sometimes I feel like, how do I help them? They're not really understanding the dynamics. So I had this thing came up with my daughter that taught me something. And I remember, I think I wrote it on a comment one day. She has had asthma issues, right, in the past, very severe. She would cry asking me, why mom, why do I have to suffer like this? And I could have come with a lot of stuff that she wouldn't understand, right? But I was like, my God, what do I answer? And I asked, and the information, what I was guided to tell her was, because you are a warrior, and only warriors can endure such situations. And she changed like that.
Yeah.
Her demeanor, she was like, oh wow, I'm a warrior, and that's what she needed at that time. She doesn't need all this truth, my truth. She didn't needed that. She needed that specific words. They just triggered something in her. So sometimes
It's a little shift.
Through their process, they need to go through that. And maybe they don't need the absolute truth just yet. And when you allow to act on inspired action, right? On inspiration, you're going to give them what they really are asking for that moment. Because maybe in the future, that's not going to be relevant for them anymore. But for that moment, that's what they need. So acting on inspiration it's such a big gift for everyone, for you and for the others.
Yes. It's entering into anything like that is with an open mind and an open heart, and it's a great place to practice unconditional love. It's a great example of, because when we see somebody get triggered, when we see someone get poked, and they do act a little silly, but that's not love if we're not accepting their wounds, their traumas, their
their wounds would trigger mine. So we would want to change them so they won't trigger our wounds, right? That's how it plays out.
Yes.
Actually, it's an opportunity to see yourself. Okay, why am I getting triggered? Just because they're getting triggered, right?
Yes.
Acting out, they're reacting, and you react to their reaction. It's amazing how this goes, right? But it's a great opportunity to see yourself. Why am I getting triggered?
Right.
does that mean? What am I making it mean for me? So it's an opportunity to integrate, to go within.
That's a beautiful, absolutely. That's what it's there for. It really is a hospital for the soul to be free, to be
Oh,
free.
yes.
And so thank you for sharing that. And, you know, I feel like we could go on for hours. Uh, so I ask everybody this, and I want everyone to know, you know, they're uh, watching now or on the replay later, you know, that please get in touch. You know, she's a source for knowledge and healing. And, you know, this is why we're here. We're not um, just sharing information, but we've done a lot of the deep work. We have the shortcuts to help, you know, help heal, help so you can make better choices and not still be in a covet of darkness, you know. And I wanted to ask you, I ask everybody this. Uh, so who is, or what is your most, there's not one, but you still go back to, what's been your favorite book so far that really like opened your eyes and you still
Concerning relationships, I guess, right? Because of the topic
no, of all time
in general.
in general.
Oh my God, I have to go with A Course in Miracles.
Yes.
um, Besides that, I think that Neil's books, Conversation with God, are very eye-opening, and the language is very easy, so you don't get lost there. So I would have to say that, and Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The Mastery of Love. Ah, I just love that book. It's about relationships. So it explains it in very easy terminology, the dynamics in relationship, the mastery of love. Yeah.
That's nice. And before I forget too, and we had Naomi, what was that book from Greg Braden again?
The Divine Matrix is the name of the book, and the video is The Seven Unseen Mirrors.
Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful conference.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
If we still have time.
Oh yeah.
One of my mentors, I just love this because it gave me that foundation for everything, you know, to be this practical. I remember Kevin Trudeau. I remember him saying, who do you listen to? And the answer is, you listen to people who has been where you're at and has what you want.
Yes.
But ultimately, you listen to yourself.
Right.
So I follow a lot of teachings. I went through almost anything I could grab my hands on. But I listen to myself. So I just want to leave everybody with that. Follow your intuition. It's never going to let you down. It's
Never.
guiding you.
That's beautiful. Absolutely. And then who, it could be virtual, it could be someone that was in real life, but who has been your greatest teacher? That
Greatest teacher.
that really affected you, that you still even you think of them off and on.
I think I have this much appreciation for Kevin because he was one of my first that really solidified everything. Like his course it's amazing. So I'm gonna go with him. He was very open in sharing and just giving it all out, just the way it is. So that was one of my first foundations. got deep into metaphysics and spirituality. Yes.
Yes. Because there's much more on the surface. Anyone that's watching tonight, there's much more than what our five senses on the outside of us are telling us. And so lastly, I'm dying to know, of all time, okay, what has been, it's not your favorite musical artist, but what has been your all-time favorite performance you ever attended?
Performance I ever attended. Okay, I think I'm failing in that because I haven't really been out that much. I
Any
get
concert, festival, anything.
does it count on social media?
Yes. If you've seen it, you attended it,
I
absolutely.
have
We'll run
I
with that.
the replays of Awesomeness Fest. I don't know if that counts. It's just the people, the energy, the workshops, all the art, the music. And I'm like, I have it on my vision board. I'm gonna go someday. I know.
I'll look that up. I don't even think I've heard of that.
Awesomeness Fest, yes, from Mind Valley. And
Yeah.
it's an amazing show what they do, right? I just love it. We gotta go.
Yes, absolutely. That's a deal. Well, thank you so much for joining with me tonight.
My pleasure. I'm so grateful for
Mm,
this opportunity. I feel blessed and honored.
yes,
Thank you.
so don't I. I really do. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And thank you for everyone all around the world for watching and offering your questions. We'll get back to them as soon as we can. And
And I just want to mention, if
yes,
Nourish Your Soul TV, I have my little page there because I'm
yes,
collaborating with Nourish Your Soul TV team with Michelle Copeland, Alan Steinfeld from New Realities, and Tyler Ellison, who's the channel for Reoak. So I have my little page there. Just
yes, please, everyone look her up. She is a source for so much uh, higher consciousness, knowledge, spirituality, teaching. She can really help you out and raise some giant awareness with you. So absolutely. Thank you for reminding me that. I knew the link was in the comments, but we'll make sure to do some more with that. And because everyone should know about you. And
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
you're very welcome. So again, thank you everyone for joining with us tonight. And we'll get back to all of your questions as soon as we can. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you.
Awesome. Bye bye.